What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Indiana Pacers fans got to be living it up. They've made the championship for the in-season tournament, and honestly, they've looked really fun all year long, and this is one of the best results for the in-season tournament is that a smaller market team took out some of the big dogs. They took out the Bucks. They took out the Celtics, and I want to kind of talk about their path and how I think this team could potentially be something at the end of the year, and Tyrese Haliburton, all the good fun stuff. So let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But this feat of getting to the championship for this in-season tournament is not small, in my opinion. I think it's a big deal because the players themselves have taken this tournament very seriously. You've seen guys like LeBron, Kevin Durant, Giannis, Tatum. There's others, Dame, like all say how great this thing is, and how, you can see it in their effort. Those guys are really trying to win this, and it's made the tournament a lot of fun. We've had some close games. We've had a lot of banger games. It's been fun. And I truly feel like the goal of this tournament was to create more intrigue to the NBA, and I thought this tournament should be better more towards like December, January, but it's really been a massive success because you have the players have bought in, the crowds have bought in, the fans. The intensity in these games it's been playoff-like. It's been almost identical to it. And you can tell the intensity in the players, like they really want to win. And the Pacers, their path, and why I think this is so impressive, is the first game they play against the Boston Celtics, who everybody has as a championship contender. They have to go through Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White. Like that team is really good. There was no Kristaps in the game they played them, but the team is still really, really damn good. And they beat them. And there was a similar trend with the Bucks and how they won this and how they won the game. And I'm gonna break it down in a second. Then they had to go play the Bucks. You take on Giannis, you take on Dame, you take on Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis. Like they have a really good team over there too, and you beat them. But offensively, they're insane. But what I kind of picked out of this is that in both those games against the Celtics and the Bucks, they in the last few minutes of the game when it was close 2-point games. They brought that defense around the corner. The defense pulled up, finally. And the team has been terrible defensively all year. But they managed to put it together for 2 or 3 minutes and show that glimpse of what that looks like. And it's led by Miles Turner, Aaron Nesmith. There's a lot of guys that really put a lot of effort into that side. Bruce Brown. And it's helped. And then, of course, we're going to get into the offense because this is easily the best offense in the NBA. And they're led by who you can argue has been the best point guard in the NBA this season in Tyrese Haliburton. So the offense itself with the team, they're basically the best points per game, most fast break points, most assists, most threes made per game, top 3-point percentage, one of the best in turnovers, so they never give it away. That's a big nod to Tyrese. And they're one of the fastest paces in the entire game. It's like somebody gets a dunk or a 2, and they're already within 3 seconds firing a 3. And they're like, you can have the little layup, the little 2-pointer, we're taking 3. They just score at will. And Tyrese Haliburton, who is the biggest cog to this whole machine, has jumped himself into that conversation. Like, you can argue me for the best point guard in the league. You can at least put me in the argument. Obviously, everyone's going to have Steph for the most part, but in the East, going into this season, I thought he'd be number 2. That was my bold prediction, which is looking not very bold anymore. I thought he'd be behind Dame, and he just went toe-to-toe with Dame, smoked him, and then with the game, he pretty much called game, does Dame's celebration right next to him, and says it's my time, which I thought was awesome. So you have this burgeoning star who I think everybody knows is just so legit now that like it shouldn't surprise people how good he is. But it's on full display every night now. But the team overall outside of him, because it's been a collective effort, and that, yes, he is the biggest dog that they have, but, you get great defense out of Aaron Nesmith, the hustle, the intensity that he brings. You get Miles Turner with the glass cleaning, or the rim protection, I should say, more importantly, spacing the floor. Obi Toppin with the highlight plays. Played tonight against the Bucks with the Tyrese Haliburton fast break, no-look alley-oop to Obi Toppin was incredible. So you get those plays. You get Buddy Hield tonight, who has 11 rebounds, which that might be a career high for him. You get that from him. He's also spacing the floor, giving you 40% from 3. Bruce Brown, one of the better zone breakers in this game that really saved them and got them, 6 or 8 points with his floaters by getting to the middle of the zone. The Bucks, for whatever reason, were funneling them to the middle, which you don't really see in zones. Usually it's to keep people out of the paint, and they were kind of funneling them into it. It was a little odd, but Brown came up with some clutch buckets. Nembhard, same thing before he left the game. The bottom line is everybody all collectively came together, and they've earned the opportunity to win the first in-season tournament championship. And it's dope because if we would have had like a Lakers Celtics, cool, that has a lot of, the rivalry and the history behind it. But when you get these young teams that are trying to prove something, this is like the best chance for them to do it. And they're going to get either the Pelicans or the Lakers. And either way, that game's going to be great, in my opinion. The NBA fans can't lose in this situation because you have an insane offense that's either going to play the arguably greatest player of all time in the first in-season tournament, or you're going to have that greatest offense play a team that has one of the bigger stars in the league in Zion Williamson, that a team's finally healthy in the Pelicans that's been rolling. You can't go wrong. Now, long term, let's get out of the tournament. Let's talk about the Pacers just briefly. Long term, offensively, I think they've done it for 20-plus games, whatever it is. They could be the best offense in the league at the end of the year, and I would not be surprised. That's how it should be. They're awesome on that end. Defensively, if they can just get to somewhere around 20th in the league defensively, they're going to be a lot harder to beat, and you'll see it in the win column. They're like second to last right now in defense, so every game is a shootout. They had the one game against the Hawks. I think it was like 157 to 152 a couple weeks ago. There's no defense on display, but in these couple in-season tournament games, you kind of saw those last few minutes when they needed to clutch up. They were able to do it. So I think if they can kind of build on this defensively and say, instead of 3-minute stretches, let's take this to be 6-minute stretches where we're great on defense every game. And then you build it into quarters. And then as the season goes, just don't be the worst defense in the league. And your great offense will be even better at the end of the day. You're going to win more games. And the thing is, they have like some decent defenders, like Bruce Brown. He can defend. Miles Turner's a good defender. Neesmith's a decent defender. Like Haliburton, if he really wanted to put a little bit more effort into it, could be a good defender. Like they have potential on that side of the ball, and it's really just a matter of applying it. Like I haven't even talked about Ben Mathurin, and because I think he's been a little bit of a letdown this season. But I also think with Rick Carlisle is kind of putting a damper on the video, has kind of put him in a poor position to succeed, making him like a 3-and-D player. And I just don't see how that's not his game. So that's my only thing with Mathurin. I think he could be even better. He could be way better, but opportunity has to line up. So let me know if you agree with my adaptation of this Pacers team and how good they could be, how fun they are now, and what you think of like Mathurin's his whole status and how he's been playing, because I think it has been underwhelming, but I also don't think he's been put in the best position to succeed. But ultimately, they're still going to make the in-season tournament finals, which is the first year this has ever happened, and they look like the most fun team in the NBA. They remind me a ton of the Kings from last year. A lot of similarities, and it's great basketball. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Please like the video. Shout out the Pacers. Made the first in-season tournament championship, and I'm a Laker fan, but if they play the Lakers, I hope my team wins, but I won't be mad if the Pacers win because I think they're one of the best stories in the NBA right now. So, I'm done.